Hey there, good evening, guys. Here we are on a Friday night. My favorite day of the week, as I always tell you, Fridays, Friday. That way you can have some fun. Wake up tomorrow, have a little more fun, and then Sundays, take it easy, go to church, do whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So thanks a lot for coming out here, talkinfight.com, Neil the Deal Show, NHL edition, Friday nights, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thanks a lot for coming out, guys. I really appreciate it. I just want to say again, the likes, the shares, all the rest of the stuff that's been going on, fantastic, guys. If you've been watching a little bit of the boxing, Mike Orr at 4 here at talkinfight.com, those guys are kicking it up a notch with the boxing, big time. Tim Witherspoon's been on the show a few times. I really like Tim. He's one of those guys, very genuine, humanitarian, very solid cat. And I'm super happy for all of us here at Talk and Fight to have a guy like Tim Witherspoon on board. So thanks a lot, Tim, for your time. Just want to say thanks again. All right. So, Neil the Deal Show, always brought to you by Patrick at Safari Barbershops here in Mississauga and Cawthra Road area. Check them out, Safari Barbershops, Patrick. Always come down, get your hair cut, bring the kids, bring the wife, bring the grandparents, bring whoever needs a cut. You never know. But anyways, Patrick is the man for the job, guys, and always come down to see Patrick. I always do. So thanks a lot, Pat. All the team over there. Take care of yourselves. Thanks again. All right, so let's get right into her here. This week was an interesting week, guys, in Leaf Nation. All right, we always talk about our team, the Leafs, first, and then we move into the other teams, which really don't matter, but whatever, right? So the Leafs this week, wow, that was an interesting week, to be honest with you. We started off Saturday night there with that football game. We actually had a football game, guys, 10-7. If you guys are watching the Leaf game last Saturday, that was just bizarre. I haven't seen a game like that in many, many, many years where it was back and forth and back. Leafs were up, 7-2 at one point. The game was way out of hand. Detroit comes back, ties it, takes the lead back and forth and this and that. That was a really bizarre game. But we really stacked the stats that night. The boys really buried the biscuit, made themselves a little bit of ding dong with that on their own level, because when you get a game like that, you get to uh, pad the stats. Sorry. So we got Mitch Marner that night. Had his first hat trick of his entire career. Imagine, first hat trick of his career, but he didn't do that. He bumped that up and got 4 goals. 4 goals, guys, in a game. He also had 2 assists, gave him 6 points. Austin Powers powered in with a goal and 3 assists. And the big boy, the surprise of the year, Mr. Bunting. Gotta love Mr. Bunting. 1 goal and 4 assists. Bunting that night. And that's a rookie, okay? Mr. Bunting is a rookie, and he's just kicking it up a notch, huge. So we'll talk a little bit more about him. So that started off the week. We had a football game, but we were watching a hockey game. So it was 10-7, and that was interesting. So during the whole week, we had 3 games. We had 2 wins and a loss. We beat Detroit. We beat Washington, which is a big game. Washington, has been up and down, sort of this and that, but they can do some damage in the playoffs. You got to keep your eye on those guys. They are past Cup winners. And then, of course, we had the debauchery, I would call it, in Buffalo. But guess what? This happens year in and year out. I don't know what it is with Buffalo and Toronto, but I'm telling you, okay, this is how it works. So we got our asses absolutely shillelied in that game, 5-1. It was like, I don't know what happens in those games, but we should have. These are the points we need to get against teams like that. Like, we're going to go over that again later on too. We need those points, and yet they're losing to teams that are bottom of the barrel. It's unbelievable. So I don't know what to tell you. This is how the Leafs roll. They'll beat the best team in the league, and they'll lose to the worst team in the league. So this is a very hard. it's hard to figure us out sometimes, right? And Buffalo has always been one of our nemesis. So I don't know, Buffalo, man, they're just. I feel bad for Buffalo, like I always tell you guys. You know what I mean, guys? You got to feel bad for Buffalo out there. Come on, they're not so bad. Blue collar people, good. They got good chicken wings, good beer. The Buffalo's a nice place, good deals on clothes. So Buffalo, I don't know, they deserve a break, but not against us. That was I don't know what happened. So, anyways, we got some games coming up this week, and we got some stiff competition. We got tomorrow night. We're playing Vancouver. Vancouver's been kicking it up a notch, big time. Brucey Boots has that team playing really well. Demko, the last time out, we had 51 shots against them, and we couldn't pull the trigger and win the game. It's a tough game. Vancouver is a tough team. Uh, they're on the road. Playing Columbus. Columbus is again another team that we have problems with. The Leafs. Laine has been on fire lately. Laine's been kicking it up big time. They're coming together over there in Columbus, and they've been playing well. Mazurkin in net has been playing well, and they're the kind of team that can win you a bit of money. Columbus, right? But you just got to keep your eye on them. Uh, on the 8th, we're going to be playing the Kraken, Seattle Kraken. We all know about them. They don't have a great road record. We're at home, so that should be an interesting situation. Arizona, we're playing on the 10th, and Arizona is always sort of a bit of an issue with us sometimes. I don't know. We trade with Arizona quite a bit. We recently did, as you know, and I don't know. They need to win these games, though. That's all I got to tell you. We need to win these games right now. The Toronto Maple Leafs need all these wins. We're really close. All right, we're Pittsburgh actually just went past us in the standings. We're now fifth in the Eastern Conference. The teams that are ahead of us were only like 4 or 5 points out of first, type of thing. So it's no big stretch, but we need to win these games against the weaker teams, or we're just not going to be able to pull off the first place and then the home ice advantage and all that jazz. So now in these games, Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews have been on an absolute tear. Okay, and over the last month or so, in the last 17 games combined, those two players for us. Love you both. You guys are the mainstay with Johnny T. And that's it, right? 63 points in 17 games. All right. So we need those guys to show up every game, all the time, every day of the week. And especially, guys, when the playoffs come this year, we know what happened last year. Please don't let that happen again. All right. Like, honestly, you guys need to kick it up a notch and play the way you are actually playing. You know, I'm sure there's the teams will have stuff, but guys, have some confidence in yourselves. Get her going. You know what I mean? Just keep her going. Now, another thing we talked about earlier on, guys, which is big thing. There's all the awards at the end of the year, and most valuable player, Austin Matthews, most gentlemanly player, John Tavares, and then there comes the Vesna. If Jack Campbell wins 20 games straight, he's got that wrapped up. That's what we need out of you, Jack. 20 straight, and Bunting. Bunting's been one of my favorite players this year. Rookie of the year. I put some big money on Mr. Bunting. Uh, he's leading all rookie scorers with 19 goals. He's 1 point out of first place. Lucas Raymond, we talked about him earlier. Love Raymond too. Like him, love him. But Bunting is really making a move here, and he's really enjoying the line that he's playing with Austin and Marner, and they're just killing it. So I'm looking at Bunting. Okay, guys, if you want to like a futures right here, quick, take Bunting for Rookie of the Year. He could pull this off no problem, and he's been playing over the top, like big time, awesome. Like look at that Detroit game, 5 points, goal, 4 assists. Holy cow! So, and this is a rookie. And we got him in a trade, you know what I mean, with Arizona is like That was not too bad. Not too bad. I like that one. So keep it up, Mr. Bunting, Mr. Matthews, and Mr. Marner. Mr. Nylander has been contributing. Mr. Riley, of course. And we're looking for a dance partner for Riley. We all know that. So hopefully they can pull the trigger on the dance partner. We'll go through that right now, guys, that we're looking at and things around the league. So again, guys, thanks for coming out here. Neil the Deal Show, talkinfight.com. NHL edition. We do the boxing thing on Mondays. We're doing the Major League Baseball on Wednesdays, but we'll see how the season goes. But thanks a lot again for coming out with the likes, the shares, and everything else. So, the guys, the trade deadline is coming up. March 21st, 23rd, whatever it may be in there, whatever. And, I mean, we talked about them before. The Leafs are still in the hunt for a lot of guys because we do need help moving forward here in the. But we're close. We are close. There are some big bad teams in the league that can give us some issues, some problems, and let's just hope that the guys that run the show up there can take care of it and get us the guys we need. So some of the guys that we've been looking at was again Severinson, Damon Severinson for New Jersey's probably the big one. I think he's probably the number one guy we should go after. JT Miller, of course, bring him in the mix if we can. If we do need a D guy, but if we got to go with a forward, JT Miller would be a great addition to our team. And rumbling is maybe Claude Lemieux. I mean, Claude Lemieux has a lot of family and friends here in Ontario, even though Claude Giroux. Sorry, Lemieux. Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux. He is from Quebec, but I do have some friends of mine that are here in Ontario and are good friends of them, and he likes Ontario. So don't think that the Leafs are out of the running for Claude Giroux, and that I don't know how that would work exactly, but Claude Giroux would be an amazing addition for the playoffs. But we do need that D guy. We really do. So concentrate on him first and see what else transpires. Just keep it going. That's all I got to tell you guys. Just keep plugging away. I know you're working on it. The guys at the back at the farm there, and keep going. There's a bunch of guys. Like there's all kinds of guys that we could get. There's Sherratt. Okay. There's Giordano. Yeah. Okay. They all come with cap hits, and there's all kinds of politics involved with that kind of stuff. But you know, Klingberg. I don't think these are the guys we want. We want young rock and roll guys. We do have some guys that we can give up. Obviously, Hole has been on the market with McDermott, but every team in the league, I guarantee it, wants Liljegren from us. All right, and I don't blame him. First rounder, uh, fabulous player. He doesn't have a lot of experience, but he's going to be a fantastic player, Swedish player, Liljegren, and if we're going to get anything, we might have to give up him to get that blockbuster trade done. So, you know what? I'd do it. I know it sucks, but Liljegren, I'd love to have him in 2 years, 3 years. He'll be amazing. But we need to win the cup now, not in 3, 4, 5 years, right, guys? It's the cup this year. That's what we're going for, and that's what we need. So we just keep rocking on that thought, and that's what we're gonna do. So enough about the Leafs, enough about the league. There's all kinds of stuff happening, as we all know, all the time. But let's just move into the predictions. Like I said, I didn't have the greatest week last week. That's 2 weeks straight, which not too bad, but not great. We're not kicking it up like we were there for so long and so good. But things go in ebbs and flows, right? So you gotta take the good with the bad. Uh, and the games are really close. I'll tell you right now. If you've noticed at the first part of the year, there were a lot of overs. All right, now my predictions were always over. I took a lot of overs, and I won some money with overs all the time. But now I'm noticing there's a little bit of a lull here where it's a lot of unders. All right, so be careful when you see those sixes and 6.5s to go over. I'd be taking them under. Teams are tightening up their game. They're starting to play better amongst themselves. I think they understand each other better. The teams are starting to, they know the trade deadline's coming. And as it gets closer and closer to the end of the season, closer to the playoffs, the games are going to get tighter and the scores are going to go down. So that's just a tip right here. And I'll stick to that 100%. Like, you'll have your odd game, your 7-5 or your 6-2, but not in the long run. All right. So last week, let's go over my predictions. February 25th, New Jersey at Chicago Blackhawks. I took New Jersey plus 1.5. The game was Chicago won the game 8-5, and I lost that game. It was an over. I should have looked at the over in that game. Chicago gives up a lot. Uh, they can score too. Jersey, the same sort of thing. So those are the kind of games you want to look at overs. And I missed that one. I had Jersey plus 1.5, so I lost that one. February 26th, Washington at Philadelphia. I liked Washington on the money line, and that was a really tight game. And Philly ended up pulling it off 2-1, and I lost that one as well. So that's two losses in a row. So I wasn't too happy about that. But hey, the games are so close, and that's interdivisional stuff too. So it's hard to pick those interdivisional games. Tampa. The next game I took was Tampa Bay Lightning at Nashville Predators. I took the Predators plus 1.5, and Tampa won the game 3-2, so that's a win on my part. Cha-ching! I took the 1.5, and it was a close game. Nashville's been playing better, and Tampa, they're not. They're playing well, as you know, but they're not blowing people out. So keep an eye on that. Los Angeles Kings, I took last week there at Anaheim Ducks. I took Anaheim plus 1.5. Anaheim's played really well at home all year. I've been checking them out. They're not the greatest team, but at home they seem to have a little bit of oomph. They seem to give a little more effort, and they do have a pretty decent home record, but not that night. The Kings came in and walloped them 4-1, and I lost that one, which wasn't very good. The Kings are a team that you gotta. They're on the outside, but they're looking in, if you know what I mean. The Kings have a really solid team, and I kind of overlooked them most of the season, and then I kind of was like, "Wow, all right, well now I don't believe that they have this back and forth goalie thing going with Quick and the other guy, what's his name, Devins or something, and they're really good. Like there's something's up over in Los Angeles, and they're playing really well. So keep your eye on Los Angeles going forward. They could win you a few bucks here and there. March 1st, I took Vegas at the Sharks. I really like Vegas going forward. Jack Eichel, the addition of Jack Eichel, and Pacioretty's back. They got Carlson, Petrangelo, this, that. Leonard's a big goalie. They just got the whole package. They're a big team. They can muscle you out of stuff. I took Vegas on the money line. They took down the Sharks 3-1, so that was a win. So there you go. I was 2-3. It's not the worst it could be, but it's not the best it could be, as we all know. So things will settle down. There's lots of games coming up, and we'll just have to see. I think the unders are going to start coming in now, guys. I really do. I'm watching these games like a hawk, and the unders are really really looking good. So, all right, moving forward to this week, let's talk about this week's predictions instead of last week's debauchery. This week's predictions: March 4th to March 10th, 2022. March 4th, which is tonight. I haven't looked at all. New Jersey Devils versus the New York Rangers. I took the Rangers on the money line. I think the Rangers in this spot, I mean, it is an interdivisional, but I think the Rangers should be able to pull that out. The Devils have been playing well, but the Rangers are a little bit just that much better of a team, better goaltending, and I took the Rangers on the money line. March 6th, I'm going to take this game, Seattle versus Carolina. I'm going to take Carolina on the money line, definitely. And I'm considering taking Carolina minus 1.5. So I think that they're going to wipe out Seattle at home. Carolina is now leading the Eastern Conference division, and Carolina is starting to make some headway like they are probably they're past Florida now, and Pittsburgh's the only team that's kind of making a move on them. But Carolina with Rob Brindamore, I told you guys that could be the sleeper team of the year. They are very good, and Frederick Anderson, of course, we gotta eat that one in net for Carolina, and they're leading the league. So, oh well. All right, March 6th as well. Ottawa versus Vegas. I'm just gonna take Vegas on the money line at home. That's it. Throw down a Hunsky, make a few bucks, and that's it. 2, 3, 500, whatever you want, and make a few bucks on that one. Montreal versus Vancouver on the 9th, March 9th. I think Vancouver's been playing great lately. I've been really checking them out. Brucey Boots has got them kicking it up huge. Demko's been lights out. The lines seem to be coming together. And look out for Vancouver. Horvat is a great captain. They got Quinn Hughes on defense. We got Pedersen, Besser. I mean, Besser could be on the block at the trade deadline. He'd be a good addition to any team. But Vancouver is a solid team, and Montreal, I just think they're not throwing in the towel, but they're not in that spot at that time. They're just not. I like Vancouver on the night. All right, money line. I'll take Vancouver. Last game I'm taking March 10th. I know this is kind of I don't normally do this, but I think I'm going to do it just for the heck of it. Arizona Coyotes are playing at Toronto here in our hometown. I'm taking Toronto on the money line. We got to win these games. That's the only reason why. Guys, you got to win the games. All the Maple Leaf fans get up, start cheering, give it all you got because this is our year, and we gotta start piling up some points and moving up the ladder, if you know what I mean. So thanks again, guys, for coming out. The Neil the Deal Show, NHL Division here on talkinfight.com. Friday nights, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Again, want to thank you for the likes, the shares, all the subscriptions, and everything you guys do for us here at talkinfight.com. So take care of yourselves. Have yourselves a great weekend. It is Friday. You got Saturday, Sunday to chill out, relax. Sundays is always a nice, relaxing day. So take care of yourselves. Get better, not bitter. And we'll see you Monday. TalkinFight.com. Boxing, Neil the Deal. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll review that big Ramirez Pedroza fight. And there we go. All right. So take care of yourselves. See you then.